everyone. Welcome to the Neo East and Jam Show. How's everybody doing? My name is Neo, and we have East,
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
and we have Jam.
Oh, hey.
All right, to tell you a little bit about the show, we're friends from high school, longtime friends with very different opinions, and we're not afraid to tackle any topic. Pop culture, politics, sports, you name it, we'll discuss it. All right, something different every episode. But most important thing is you. So we need you to send some comments our way, send some love our way. Whatever you do, just send some comments and we'll include you in the conversation. All right, Jam. There's one rule. No cussing. Tell us about that.
One rule alone. And with no cussing. It's a simple rule. We try not to cuss. Each show, if we do cuss, there's a 10. That's the back and the front. Dollar penalty. And if you do it 3 times in a row on the same show, you in fact do have to pay.
He wrote me beautiful letters. And they're great letters. We fell in love.
The ultimate penalty. You have to write a love letter that I'm sure the Don will return just to you. Anyway, there are your penalties. You got it, Neo.
All right. So we are going to be doing jam sessions tonight. The way it works, Jam will start us off. All right. And like a jazz band, we'll just jump in there and let the conversation go wherever it goes. Right. All right. And when it's time to move on to the next topic, we'll just do this. And we'll know it's time to move on. All right? So we're looking to hear from you, like I said. So you guys are going to drive the conversation. So.
Yes.
Now, before we start, I got a question for you guys. And I want to kind of help the audience get to know you a little bit better. All right. You ready?
Yes,
I
sir.
got my big boy pants on.
All right. What was the first ever concert you attended and how was it?
Houdini.
Houdini.
And they came with so many different acts. If I'm not mistaken, I think Chubb Rock was also there. Like it was like just a bunch of the hip hop acts, and Chubb Rock got booed off stage because people weren't trying to hear Chubb Rock. For the go-go bands, the go-go bands came after all the hip hop bands were on rap. It's called rap back in the day. Anyway, that was the first concert.
All right. East?
Like in 87?
I don't know. I don't have my concert watch on me. Thank you for asking.
The first concert I remember going to was back in 83. It was a go-go group called Trouble Funk was the headliner out at the Cap Center.
Oh, wow.
And
who took you? Who took you?
Well, the person responsible for our babysitter took us there. And what I remember is some dude was with us.
Uh-huh.
He went to the bathroom. I haven't seen that dude since.
Okay.
So we rolled. We came back home. We went the wrong way on the Beltway. It was crazy. But that was my first concert.
All right.
Wait, you were on the Cap Center? Wait, never mind.
Yeah. What? Wait. Yes.
Why were you on the Beltway?
It was inside the Beltway, right?
Yeah, at the Cap Center. So we thought we were. The way we got there was not the way we went home. We were supposed to go back toward, well, for those who don't know, we're supposed to go back toward Baltimore. We went south, like we were going to Virginia. So the first sign we saw for Washington, we got on, that was Pennsylvania Avenue. So we were in Forestville. I didn't know at the time. So we took Forestville, Pennsylvania Avenue, extended all the way back into DC, and then went home from there.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Glad you made it.
I'm glad I'm still here.
What about you, Neo?
Well, my first one was New Edition, also at the Cap Center.
Oh,
Many years ago. They were good though. That was back when they were doing Candy Girl and Telephone. Well, I forget the name of that song.
So was that Bobby Brown, New Edition, or
it was Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown, New Edition. He was still with them at the time. Yep.
pretty
okay.
Straight 5 heartbeats. I like
Yep. All right. Jam,
All right.
let's do some shout outs. What we got?
All right. Like give our normal shout outs to all our folks who are always there to support us. Ruben, Todd, Mel, Ken. We got Mania. That's it for right now. Troy, again, shout out. Ayana. Woo!
I see Mike Winters on. Mel,
Oh,
Steve, bunch of people on right now. Huh?
All right.
Got a lot of fun stuff happening. So, all right. So, Jam, you ready for some jam sessions? Why don't you start us off?
Jam sessions. Let's start this right.
Let's do
Where
it.
the conversation gets spicy real quick, depending on your mood. Insecure.
Oh, yeah. Let's,
Who watched it?
well, yeah, it was good.
It was
yeah.
what?
Yo, just checking in on you.
Hey, morning after update.
I mean,
Y'all.
you say a lot of stuff happened, but did a lot of stuff happen this episode?
We do.
What do y'all think?
So what am I supposed to do now?
Relax, relate.
Yeah, well, not in terms of moving any type of story along. I mean, no, because it's just about Issa and kind of her trying to get over what happened at the block party.
She's wrong.
So in terms of just
Bars.
moving the story along, not a lot really happened.
Yeah, I think this episode was a little. I mean, there wasn't a lot to it, but a lot happened. I mean, he's had a rough night. I mean,
A horrible night,
woo.
Was it? What
horrible
happened?
day actually.
Yeah, the whole day.
I mean, technically, her hanging out with the girls wasn't horrible till the end. Technically.
Well, no, she had a hard day before that.
Like what? What made her day horrible? That's what I'm asking you. What made her day so bad?
East?
Dealing with the old man.
Yeah.
And his whatever he was going through.
There was something
Drop
weird
him off.
about that when he dropped, talking about some dad. There's something more to that we're missing. I think there was something behind that.
I think it's like, what I couldn't see, and I wanted to ask you guys was the character that opened the door almost appeared to be Nathan. I don't think it was, but what did you guys see?
No, I think it looked random to me.
Just a random guy? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, but he answered the door like, Dad, like, I haven't seen you in years. Like, what are you doing here? Kind of that kind of
I thought it was
response.
that, or he had like escaped from like a home or something. It was just like, ha ha. So yeah. What? So and then how we get PG and DC got represented.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a.
Right. Yeah, that was a good thing. Like you said, till
I ain't from DC. I'm from PG County.
That's why I died dead.
I mean, they acted like PG County girls too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
oh, okay. Direct all correspondence to Neo.
he doesn't like go-go. He does not like go-go.
Hey, what are you talking about? How you gonna put me out there? I love Go Go. I made the song in the beginning. That has a Go Go feel to it.
Hey, Jam,
I'm
did
influenced by Go Go.
the voice change octaves?
Hey!
The voice definitely went up. It went up. He definitely
Why you
went
pointing out my tails? Quit that.
He went from comfortable radio voice to schoolgirl.
Are we supposed to be talking about Insecure? Let's get back to Insecure, okay?
Hey, Jam,
we talking about Issa.
Neo's right here, right here. Do you love Goku?
Hey, we're talking about Issa Rae, Insecure. Let's go back to that. Can we go back to that? Here we go.
All right.
Just fell off.
I'm sorry.
So, no, not really any Molly. Definitely not any Lawrence. Barely any other booze.
Yeah, is
So
Lawrence
that's
out the
all-
picture?
all-
What's up with that? Is Lawrence done?
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Huh.
I would say he's not done. You
For
know,
the
I
moment.
think I think he'll be back, but I don't know in what capacity. I don't know if they'll just be friends or will they
Right.
try it again. But I don't think he's done. You know, this is the second straight episode he hasn't appeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think next episode is pretty much gonna be like this episode. It's gonna be like Molly, like all Molly is my from what I've seen in the previews. It's like
Yeah.
it'll be the all Molly episode, which only leaves us one more episode before the season's over, right? 8 episodes.
That sounds right.
So
So do you think they'll get back together? I mean, as friends? I mean, because we saw the way it ended last night. Molly was in the restaurant, and we didn't preface this with spoiler alerts, Jam. We forgot to.
oh, good thing we stuck it in halfway. Before exchange.
But at the end,
spoilers.
she saw Molly sitting at her in the restaurant, and she turned around and walked out.
That Ethiopian will do that to you. You can't eat Ethiopian while you're fighting with somebody. It's spicy enough.
I mean, you think she did the right thing?
I mean, it's hard to say because she clearly wasn't ready
To repair
for
the
that.
relationship.
Yeah. I mean, so I think just it's hard to say right or wrong, but maybe in that moment it was the right thing because she doesn't know. She hadn't spoken to Molly since the event, so she doesn't know if Molly's still angry. Heck,
I mean-
I don't know if Issa knows if she's still angry.
I was gonna say. I mean, it feels like Issa. I don't know. I think Issa's right for not being the one this time to kind of step out and try to fix a relationship. I mean, you want to see something from Molly. She wants to see that Molly cares. I'm cool with it. I think Issa's doing a lot of the right things in these episodes. Damn.
I'm thinking about it. Like, I mean, I don't think Issa deserves to be the one to step in and make that amends. It wasn't really her issue, I still think. So, and Molly, unless she grows up, her character grows up a bit, which she may do, I don't think we're going to see it from Molly because Molly only sort of did it with her boo, and she only because it's her boo, and she likes to get all super serious, you know? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing.
Yeah.
I'm about to say one thing we can't forget is like, Molly stepped to her physically. Like,
right.
I mean, these weren't just words. Like, it was about to be a physical confrontation.
Over some nonsense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like she built it up, and it's like that point where really everybody was good with it except for your feelings at this point, and this is a fight. Whatever, man. Molly,
You done with
We
Molly?
already know how you feel, Jam. about
You've been
Molly,
done with Molly for a few episodes now.
Molly's. Now, having said that, her real name, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. Did you see her comedy special that they hooked on the end of that they had the promo for?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
So,
Yvonne Orgy.
Yeah,
You know what the name is.
And so, did you see the promo for her comedy
Yeah.
stand-ups? That joint looked hilarious.
Yes, it does. I didn't know she did stand up. I was totally ignorant.
They all are. They all are. We knew her first, and then we realized the whole cast does it, except for the fellas, I guess. So, like all
And
the
interesting
main
thing-
female characters,
They filmed it in Nigeria, right?
at least part of it, because she's walking
looks
around
like it.
home making fun of people.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I'm looking forward to watching that.
All right, guys. That's the sound. It's time to move on to the next topic. So let's go with East. East, what you got?
Yes, sir. Our president, our dear leader, he just came out and said that he was taking hydroxychloroquine.
Wait, let's hear it in his own words. Hold
And
on.
a lot of
Please.
good things have come out about the hydroxy. A lot of good things have come out. And you'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it. The frontline workers, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it. And a lot of...
Wow. That's your boy.
Man,
Woo-hoo.
I want the general public just to imagine every time he said hydroxychloroquine, replace that with crack. The man sounded like a crackhead talking about how long you been taking it. I don't know. A week and a half. I don't know. It feels good. That's what the people told me.
You think he's really taking it?
No,
Okay, guys, just making sure it wasn't just me.
no. I mean,
Look, there's no way in
The
hell.
fact that he almost implies that he's first line. He's a first line
Frontline.
responder. Almost
Yeah.
frontline. First frontline responder.
uh-huh.
By the fact that he has to take it. Frontline, you know, that's him owning up. He's a person. He's defending us. Without him, y'all,
Yeah, there's no way in hell he's
taking
taking
our
it.
food.
No way.
Thank you, Trump.
I mean, you remember the sequence of events. Sunday night, we all know Trump watches too much TV.
Yep.
Sunday night, Dr. Rick Bright, the government official they demoted,
Mhm.
was on 60 Minutes talking about the negative effects of hydroxychloroquine.
Mhm.
And that's part of the reason why he was demoted, was because he was so adamant about not making this drug widely available for the public. So then he gets demoted. Then the next day, Trump says, well, I take it.
Mhm.
And it's, you know, Trump's motives are usually right out in the open. You know, he doesn't want to be seen as not, you know, of course, he's so insecure. He doesn't want to be seen as making any mistakes or being negatively seen as giving out wrong information. So he just says out the blue, yeah, I'm taking it. Like, it's almost like if he doesn't own it, he's got major stock in it, or his family, or something like that.
I mean, he
'Cause
does
his
have a
love
stake
affair-
in it, but it's like a
It's a minor one.
ridiculously small amount of a stake. I think he has some mutual
Okay.
funds or something that have a stake in it.
Yeah, but
But
this
he's
is, I
Trump.
mean,
His ego has a stake in it now. I mean,
oh, yeah. Yeah, good point.
his ego planted the flag, his United States flag flying, Confederate icon in the corner. It's his. So,
All right.
right.
So,
So,
next one. Let's move on to Jam. What you got?
all right, I got a bunch of slightly entertaining things, but I did want to give well, I'll start with the graduation speeches. You
Oh,
guys had
the graduation speeches.
Congratulations,
graduation speeches. There are a
graduates.
lot-
This is a big moment. Not on graduating high school, but on making the journey down the stairs from your bedroom to the living room and putting on something slightly more formal than sweatpants. Your grandparents are proud of you. We're all proud of you. It took a lot of effort. We want to recognize your sacrifice. Congratulations, parents, teachers, and coaches. Not that there's really any meaningful distinction among those categories anymore at this point. If
Wow,
you're a
this is an
parent,
amazing
you're a
speech.
teacher, thanks a
Yes,
lot, China.
What's wrong with this guy?
it's better.
Thanks, China.
I hate to talk over Nebraska Senator Ben Sass, but not only did he decide to insult dang near everybody he encountered in this speech, he made a particular point of insulting the school psychologist, who he told all students, whatever you do, don't grow up to be that. And he seriously
Yes.
he insulted the students themselves, letting them know that the ropes that they see hanging from their gym, they would not be able to identify them. But if they asked their parents could tell them what they would do with it. It's just insanity.
Yep.
And then, I mean, mild insanity. But the best part was when
Mild.
mild.
Well, he was joking most of the time, but it was in bad taste.
Yeah. And consistently bad.
Yes.
He dropped that. Remember that time China He was talking about you're going to say stuff at your high school reunion service ceremonies. Remember that time that China started the worst public health crisis in over a century and brought the economy to its knees? Just stuff like that. His whole graduation speech. Now, I just want to know if any of you guys have heard of any better or worse speeches. I thought this one hit us at about a D minus. You guys got any Fs for me that you can think of off the top of your head?
You know, I haven't heard many. I've heard Obama's speech. That was a great one.
What was that?
That's the best I heard.
Yeah, I haven't heard the Fs.
I mean, this was the first time I'd actually heard one of the senators give one of the graduation speeches. So you brought it to my attention. I hadn't heard anything like it.
A minor thing, but it gave the class something to enjoy. And
Yeah, it was funny.
it's like, what? All right.
All
So that's
right.
one share. One
So
share.
we got another one. Let's see. This actually comes from our friend Liz. This wonderful lady, Sylvia Ann Driscoll, decided to sue all homosexuals. Like, literally all homosexuals. So, what do you guys think about this? This is literally her complaint.
I think to see someone writing cursive in this day and age is always encouraging, and
Yeah.
as an example for children to copy.
I tried hard to find a picture of Miss Driscoll, just because I needed to see who this lady was. But
I
she
think
good.
I think the mental picture you have is probably accurate.
Probably. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
I will cast no mental pictures.
So of course, this was thrown out. So just in case you were wondering, this was thrown out.
I think it's because she was an ambassador for God and Jesus, and as the Trump administration hadn't appointed her as ambassador, she was removed from the post. It has to be refiled when it gets the proper person in the position.
I mean, how pissed was she? She hand wrote it. Like she couldn't even wait to type it on
Crazy.
notebook paper. Wow.
Yes. All
I
right.
mean, so Mania did want to point out that some of her spelling was a little off. Like allies, ALIS probably isn't the proper way to spell it. But we're not here to judge. We're not here to judge.
All
Too
right.
much.
East. Time to move on. What we got?
Yeah, there was a recent news story out of Franklin County, Ohio, that declared racism a public health crisis.
Really?
Just came out today. The Franklin County commissioner, just today, Tuesday, passed. Let me get it for you. They passed a declaration that racial discrimination was a hazard in terms of Black African Americans receiving proper care for during the coronavirus pandemic. Ultimately, you ask, well, what can they do? What does this mean? I mean, from what I've read, and it just came out late today,
Mhm.
there's not much that they can do except try to provide resources for the African Americans, but in that community. But it's at least an acknowledgement of the negative effects of racism, systemic racism, in this country, at least on a county level.
Right.
And if you extrapolate that to the rest of the country, it kind of reinforces what's going on, why the results of the coronavirus pandemic are what they are, where Black and brown people are negatively affected at much higher rates than whites and Asians.
What do you think about that, Jam?
I mean, Yes.
That's how I feel.
Taking to go jail. It's as I've listened to more and more of the coronavirus information, especially as it affects the health of African Americans, and listening to the updated employment opportunities that are out there, like it's become really clear to me that people who don't have access to really to opportunities that can really grow them personally and make their families live a better life are really catching it during the coronavirus times.
Yeah.
And that the opportunities that are being offered just aren't the ones that are going to provide anything. I caught a real quick report about a guy who manages chickens or helps manage chickens and catch them, feather them, and all that. Working for a plant somewhere in the Midwest, and the amount of money, I think there was no way for him to protect himself from getting COVID because they work so close to each other, and he was responsible for driving people, picking them up, going to and from work.
Yep.
And the amount of money he made sounded like so little to me. I was just appalled.
Yeah.
And it's depressing.
It is.
And it's like it's just amazingly, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Yes, go Franklin County.
All right, you know what that means. Time for another one. I've got one for you. So.
All right.
So I've been seeing this post on a lot of different Facebook pages. It says we stand in line at Target, Walmart, Lowe's, etc. We can stand in line in November. Say no to mailing in voting. And then it says make this go viral. So I've been seeing it on a lot of people that look like us's page. And it really frustrates me. Every time I have to go in and I type and explain to them, this is about voter suppression. This is some nationalists or Russia or whomever, and they're getting us to spread this nonsense to our people, right? And so now, how many people are going to go and stand in line and risk death to vote? We need, well, I'll do it too. But if mailing is an option, it needs to be an option. We should be instead telling people, go vote. However you do it, just vote. Not saying no to mail-in voting. What do you guys think about this?
Oh, I was wondering if it was a question or just a statement. My bad.
Sorry, I was angry about it, so I had to make my statement.
That wasn't a statement, and it was like, all right, what do you guys have to say?
Yeah, I mean,
when you think about East,
I mean, okay. No,
I saw this on your page. Well, what do you think about it?
Sorry,
but like,
it just makes me angry because the last thing we need is Trump winning.
I mean, just like a lot of things, it's not a binary choice. It's not either stand in line or mail it. It's like, just like Neil said, vote however you can. I mean, either mail in, you can early vote. If you wait till November 3rd and want to stand in line,
stand in line.
Stand in line.
Yep.
But whatever you got to do, however you need to vote, vote. And just to reinforce what Neil said, the possible elimination of the ability to mail in is all about voter suppression.
Absolutely.
Republicans win when voter turnout is low.
Yep.
When voter turnout is high, Democrats have a better chance of winning.
Trump said it himself.
Yeah.
It's part of their. Yep. Absolutely.
It's probably damn near a campaign strategy.
It is.
On how to
there's no
suppress the vote.
about it.
They've reported on it. It is absolutely a campaign strategy.
And so, but what gets me about it, like my first response to this is, how many times? Well, two. I got 50 responses. Virginia just had a prelim special election. I think it was a special election. Finished up today, and so and I missed the ballot response. They were trying to get an idea of what mail-in response would be like, because Virginia has allowed it for this for this election. So, but there's no reason, in short, that we can't do what, if we are people of color at all, what literally our ancestors got threatened, killed for, almost killed for, chased for, stabbed, and beaten for. Like, what is this that we can't stand? Like, why would you even put this out there? You should know better as a person of color, and as a non-person of color, you should still know better because you're acting out. You know, this is just nonsensory.
So, anybody listening, please do not send this nonsense out. There's no say no to mail-in voting. We vote however we can vote. All right? And if you notice, I don't even think half the people clicked on the link. I clicked on the link. And if you look at the bottom, it says, see more about #liberal idiots. I mean, people are spreading stuff they don't even realize they're spreading. It's a shame. So
it just reinforces that people don't read.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, because you clearly stated probably a right-wing conspiracy group or something like that, alt-right group, propagating Trump's campaign.
All right. That was the sound to move on. So, Cam, what you got?
All right. I got a quick one about Senator Tom Cotton. Now, what he's saying isn't exactly exciting, but his name just took me back to those years of voter suppression that my parents had to live through. Tom Cotton says we need to get to. Are we gonna play it? We got a clip to play, or can I talk over?
I don't have a clip. I don't have a video clip.
So, Senator Tom Cotton, we need. This is a quote in his voice. Thank you very much. We need to get to the bottom of these gross abuses of power by the Obama administration. Now, I share this with you because Tom Cotton of Arkansas, Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, wants this to happen. Ironically enough, Barr himself has said he does not expect Biden or Obama to be investigated as a result of this. This is a big old crap load of nothing.
I read a headline saying that that this investigation came up with nothing. But I didn't read the story. Did you guys read something like that?
This is about the Russia investigation.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. But it came.
Like
I read some headline saying that they came up with nothing against Biden, Obama.
Right. That's why Barr was like, I ain't even gonna mess with it.
Yeah.
Like, did you find anything on him, East?
I didn't hear anything. I didn't find anything. I did hear that they're trying to drag Hunter Biden in for some type of investigation.
I thought
they're trying to get any Biden investigated. I mean, Dr. Jill Biden better watch out because they might try to drag her in front of Congress to investigate her. They just want the ability to say that any Biden is under investigation right before the election, in hopes that that's going to help Trump's chances.
Yeah.
No, stick to nothing. All right.
East, what you got?
Well, just more proof that Trump is a little itch. Nancy Pelosi had to defend herself from comments that she made about Trump's weight over the weekend.
Obesity.
Yeah, his doctors, it's been put out on White House stationery that he's obese. She just repeated what his doctor said, and Trump as per usual, blew up. He blew up, and got angry. Now this is the man who's called, I believe, Rosie O'Donnell a fat pig.
Mm-hmm.
Called numerous amounts of, called Maxine Waters unintelligent.
Don't leave out the
called Omarosa a dog. I mean, so it's just like, you start name calling and you can't accept facts. So I mean, he's the definition of an insecure bully.
Wow.
Did you call him Molly?
He is a bully, though. And very insecure, which is why he's a bully. You remember that conversation we were talking about bullies? And the number one thing we said is bullies typically have been bullied, or they've got some psychological issues behind the reasons that they're a bully. No question that Trump has some issues. So, no question.
Oh yeah.
I just want to point out, Mania found the Obamagate conspiracy got blown to pieces. She actually posted the link. So if anybody wants to check it out.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean that's.
Yeah, she posted it
done.
in the comments section. So anybody can check it out.
So we got. Looks like I got another one for you.
Okay.
So this is a rest in peace to Jorge Santana, brother to Carlos Santana. He was 68, Latin rock, known for Latin rock. He was a guitarist in the group Malo. They had their biggest hit in the 70s. He did play with his brother, though. They had Afro-Cuban influences, Chicano influences. Anyway, so I wanted to give a shout out, rest in peace, to Jorge.
Rest in peace, Jorge. I mean, since we're talking Santana and everything, did you guys read this? Cannabis may prevent COVID-19 infection, according to a new study.
What?
Yeah. Now, I don't want people to get too excited because it's not like you can smoke weed and all of a sudden you have some protection from coronavirus. But what I was reading is there is something in cannabis, some chemical that prevents COVID from, attacking T cells or something like that. So apparently they're investigating chemicals in cannabis that may help. But just thought I'd throw that out there. Might interest some people.
I didn't read the article. Did they say it's the THC in cannabis?
It was. I don't know that it was THC. They just said they couldn't figure out what chemical it was, but it was inhibiting about 70%.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So.
I think it's important that you guys are missing the big picture. That in a week or so we're going to see Trump with the big blunt. I take it every day.
Right. About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I just started smoking blunts every day.
All right, East, what you got?
Okay, let's see. Unfortunately, another athlete got arrested for gunplay. Cody Latimer, currently signed to the Washington Skins, got arrested in Colorado for discharging his weapon around his alleged friend. The story goes that it was reported that somebody allegedly had some type of somebody allegedly sexually abused his 4-year-old son or 4-year-old child.
Okay.
And needless to say, he was very angry, and he apparently fired a shot into his friend's apartment. I do friends in air quotes because I think once you start shooting at me, I think our friendship might be a little strained.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but so facts are still coming out, but so he's free on bond until his next court date.
So you said that was another Skins player?
No, I just said another football player.
Oh, another football player. Okay.
Yeah.
And I did say
he's
Skins.
currently a Skin. He's currently a Skin, and the one we talked about last episode, Quentin Dunbar, is a former Skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought the story was going to go more the Cheney way.
Oh, shot in the face.
Accidental shot in the woods. Oops, my bad. And then the friend apologizes. That's where I thought.
No.
I'm glad it didn't go that way. Thank you.
Nah, I mean, it's some serious allegations when you're talking about child sexual abuse. So hopefully things get cleared up with that. You know,
I mean, I gotta
my first
say,
concern is his child.
I gotta say, if I found out something like that about my child or even a friend's child,
Right.
it's no telling what I would do.
Oh,
I would just take it. You find me in jail.
Of all the craziness we heard of so far, this is the most logical craziness.
Right.
So,
Yes.
they're
Definitely the
I
most
doubt
logical.
People will be like,
Yeah.
not me. No, that's. I think there's validity in there. So.
Yeah. All right. So I've got one from, again, our friend Liz. Scarface reboot in the works.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Apparently, Michael B. Jordan will be playing Tony Montana. Does Michael B. Jordan as Tony Montana work for you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, you played Killjoy. Yeah.
I mean, an Italian mobster?
Well, I mean, now there are dark skinned Italians. There are black Italians because when the Moors, I had this discussion a while ago. The Moors and there's the whole battles between the Crusades between the Moors and the Christians, and so there's a lot of colonization that went on in the southern part of the country. So it is possible, technically, just looking at skin color, but in terms of acting and stuff, I don't even want to see that. Like, leave it alone.
Because you don't like Michael B. Jordan or something? Okay.
I mean,
you don't like Anthony Mackie either. What is it with you and black male actors?
I like Anthony Mackie. I said his acting might be not the best.
You can't tell me that Michael B. Jordan is not a good actor.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. Making sure.
he just didn't say anything.
So is Michael B. Jordan a good actor?
I don't know. What criteria are we using?
All right. Your thoughts.
We're just gonna leave that alone.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Well. To the point, like I heard that they're going to change some things around about the story. Like instead of Miami, I think they said it's going to be in LA, and I'm not sure about the drug of choice because with Tony Montana it was cocaine, obviously a lot of cocaine, and in this reboot, is it going to be pills? Is it going to be opioids or what's going to be the drug of choice?
It would have to be something that gave a high. I mean, it's not like he could go with like, I don't know, something that's going to like make him sleepy, like heroin, So, because where would be his final scene? He couldn't have a shootout if he was nodding out in the corner. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I don't know how it's going to work, and I mean, I think Michael B. Jordan's a good actor.
I do too. I think he's really good.
I don't know. Reese, was that? Yeah.
That's it. He's not a bad actor. I don't like the movie choice for him. Like,
a Scarface.
Yeah, like I just don't.
Okay.
Like that's all I'm saying. For this, like Scarface,
Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm a little iffy on Scarface for. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, might be something to watch on Netflix in a couple of years.
There we go.
Right. Oh wait,
Right.
Because the movie theater's opening up in a month or so. You can go there and watch it. Sit beside somebody.
All right, Jan, you got something?
Let's see. I think I'm pretty much out.
All right. Well, I got something.
All right.
So, this was recently posted on Republicans Against Donald Trump. I mean,
This is the best picture ever.
his mouth is open. What is up with that? It's literally open. I mean,
how many quotes do we have?
East, are we offended by this?
I'm highly disturbed. Matter of fact, I'm really uncomfortable right now.
I mean,
This is
personally, I think it's like a royal family. You keep that stuff inside, you get less children, and in the end, they just run out of blood and they die off. It's better that way.
Yeah.
nasty.
I mean, I just don't understand his infatuation with his daughter.
The question should be:
You don't?
Is the infatuation returned?
I'm just glad it's Republicans against Donald Trump that posted it. I like that.
I mean, the man is just he's got a problem.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't see. Like he doesn't see. I get the feeling he doesn't see Ivanka as his daughter. He sees her as another woman, and it's disgusting to even imagine your daughter and commenting on her body in a sexual manner. In a sexual manner, and he sees no problem with it.
Yeah.
And I think he would probably do it with Tiffany if he knew who she was.
That's messed up. That's messed up, Pete.
The honest thing to be there. It's probably why she does it. She's like, "No, I'm out. I can't deal with this. Hands off." So crazy.
All right.
And then Melania, oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. Press the wrong button. Go ahead.
Nah, Melania, shoot, for her 50th birthday, he was tweeting up a storm about everything except her happy birthday to his wife.
Oh.
You think they're gonna get divorced after he's out of office?
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
Melania is going to be the one doing the divorcing. So
the question is,
Okay.
You're asking the wrong question. How long? Like
That's what I'm about to say. Over under 6 months after he's voted out of office.
yeah,
I think it depends on how.
Under.
Sorry.
I'm going under.
It depends on how. If he's just voted out, I got. I think we hear about under. I'm under.
All right. So next one. So did you guys see this? Florida Health Department manager was told to delete coronavirus data, and then she was forced to resign.
Yes.
Yep.
Can you tell me more about that, Jim?
That's most of it's right there. They asked her to manually change the data that they had in there, and she was like, "No, that's not what I'm supposed to do."
Right.
And they were like, "Well, there's the door," and so that's the basics of it. And then she went to the news and was like, "They're playing with the numbers." So,
That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous.
because
Two
those are the
caveats
numbers they
that we
use to
have.
open the state back up.
Say it again.
2 caveats we got on this. First of all, it's Florida.
Of course.
So
Your favorite state.
right, exactly. So then number 2, Trump touted like the coronavirus response to Florida,
Mhm.
and he touted their numbers and how great they were responding, and that was predicated on these false numbers that were coming out of. Apparently false numbers coming out of Florida. So if the person responsible for generating the numbers is like, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm going to start telling the truth. Well, if you're Ron DeSantis, who's pretty much been a lapdog of Trump, you can't let that happen.
Right.
So she had to go. Don't excuse it.
If I'm not, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I don't
I
excuse
mean,
it. It's definitely wrong.
She's trying to do her job right, but that's clearly from point A what this is not about, because he used those numbers to reopen Florida. So the real numbers, I didn't check and see if they actually posted them, because it didn't seem to matter to him anyway. Like, was it even 2 weeks ago he closed Florida? Was it a week ago?
Yeah, I think he I think it was about 2 weeks ago he opened.
Take it 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. Yeah.
I think it's about 2 weeks. Yeah.
And he said, we got to open the beaches and spread the disease some more. Like craziness. So,
All right, East. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I see. You know, I kind of wanted to talk about The Last Dance that
Oh,
being
good. I'm
shown
glad you brought that
on
up.
ESPN.
Mhm.
Right now, I think the angle I'm gonna take right now is people's responses to it in terms of specifically Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, former teammates of Michael Jordan.
Mhm.
Uh, Reportedly, Scottie Pippen's upset because the quote unquote documentary highlighted most of his personal failings on the basketball court. Like he missed some free throws, the migraine, where when they were playing Detroit, he couldn't play because of a migraine. Like I said, he missed some free throws, and then there was a game after Jordan retired where he didn't enter the game because Phil Jackson called it the last shot for a player named Tony Kukoc,
Mm-hmm.
and Pippen said, "Well, F it, I'm not going in the game if I'm not going to take the shot." So
I remember that.
while all these things happen, I think Scotty's like, well, it's not fair and balanced. Like it didn't show all of Jordan's issues. I mean, kind of glanced over the gambling. Of course, didn't get into any aspects of why his marriage or anything failed.
Wasn't Jordan a
Jordan missed some
producer?
shots too.
Jordan was a producer, right?
He was heavily, like, from what I understand, the documentary wouldn't have got done without him greenlighting
Everything.
everything, right?
So do you think this was an intentional thing to show Pippen's failings for the most part?
See, that's what I don't understand, because he said early in the documentary that he couldn't have done it without Scotty.
No question.
So he shows a certain high level of admiration for Pippen's talents. I mean, I don't understand why. It was only in the last episode where they showed Scotty playing with some type of back injury in Game
yeah.
6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that kind of showed how tough Scotty was, and also too they mentioned how tough he got in the '91 season against Detroit. How when Rodman almost pushed him into the stands,
Mm-hmm.
just got back up, went to the free throw, shot his free throw, didn't complain or anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, and I said this earlier, I got a whole different respect for Scotty just
Me
based off
too.
of his upbringing. He had a tough upbringing in the fact that, I mean, they grew up poor,
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of siblings. Dad, I think, had a stroke when
Mm-hmm.
Scotty was young. And Scotty didn't go to North Carolina like Jordan
His brother
did.
was
Scotty went to
paralyzed.
Central Arkansas.
Yep.
Right. And Scotty, I think Scotty entered college at 6'1"
And shot up.
and shot up. Right. So, Scotty didn't have any. I think when he entered college, he didn't have any realistic aspirations of the NBA.
Right.
And to do what he did, I think he deserves a lot more respect than I think he probably got.
Yeah. I had a
during the
greater
series.
respect for him as well. I thought he was, I thought he was just a sidekick. But when you really look how tough he was and how he really facilitated Jordan's skills and abilities and really played his role. I mean, I don't know that Jordan would have been what he was without Scotty. Because I don't know how many people could have dealt with Jordan's personality the way Scotty was able to. I just don't know. But that back injury, I saw that game. I remember watching that game, but I had no idea he had that back injury. I mean, I remember them mentioning it, but I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, and like, the two things about Pippen. Pippen was, and you can say what you want to, Pippen was a phantom foul call away against New York from taking that Bulls team where Jordan just retired
Mm-hmm.
back to at least to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
And when he went to Portland, they were 1 quarter away from going to the finals.
Yeah.
When they were playing the Lakers. The Lakers came back. The Lakers steamrolled them in the 4th quarter, but still.
Yep.
I mean, that Portland team was down 3-1, and Scotty brought them back. Scotty's shown when he's played without Jordan, he's still been a highly successful player.
Yeah.
If he would have won a championship without Jordan, I think that would have solidified him as a
premier player.
Yeah, exactly.
100. Good.
I think you answered your own question. Like, I think he, in light of some of the other stuff in the documentary, why show Scotty in that light? Because he shouldn't outshine Jordan.
That's a good point. Very good point. All right, guys, that was our last of the jam sessions. So, East, we're going to close it out with not trying to start anything but. So, what you got for us?
Well, I ain't trying to start anything, but kind of like what I was talking about with The Last Dance, like, old men need to let it go. Y'all are old. Jordan, like, y'all are old. Let these beefs go.
So when you're
Jordan's
talking
still
about
beefing
beefs,
with
what you
Peyton.
talking about?
Jordan and Gary Payton talking to Jordan getting upset because Gary Payton said during the documentary, when I started getting on him, when I was guarding him during the finals, I handled him. I didn't, I made it tough for him. And Jordan is like, man, please, like, dude, you won. Why are you beefing with the dude you beat? Man, Jordan won't give anybody anything, even to
No
this
credit.
day.
Yep.
No credit.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude is maniacal. Like, he's borderline. Now, you can't argue with the results.
I was going to say,
He
isn't
won.
that what made him great? I mean, that's the attitude greatness sometimes needs to have.
But at what point can you kind of call off the dogs? Like, it's over. And okay,
I think it's part of his psyche.
Okay, given that's his psyche, how come he can't transfer that to the front office and get some better players for the Charlotte Hornets?
I mean, there is a skill level to everything. So perhaps he just doesn't have the skills he needs to be good at that.
Or his ego's too big. He has the skills, but his ego is just like right there in the way. He can't see past it because it just sits there and blocks his eyes.
I mean, Kwame Brown was a good example of that. I don't think Jam has any idea what I'm talking about, but
I have no idea, but I'm laughing along in the show.
Kwame Brown was a Wizards draft pick, #1 draft pick, straight out of high school that Jordan made.
And that was the draft with Pau Gasol.
Oh, that was. Oh,
yeah. Thanks, Jordan. So,
all right.
I mean, yeah, that's about it, man. That's all I got.
All right. I agree with you to some degree. I just think he is who he is, and let him be who he is. So
let me ask
Jordan.
you this.
Go ahead.
Now, maybe this might be a conversation for another episode. Do you have to be an a-hole to be a champion?
No.
Because Jordan is unapologetic about... I'm sorry.
I was saying no, but it helps.
So Steph Curry is not an astronomically bad guy.
Good save.
Excellent save.
Hold on. Jam. Hold on, Neil. Hold on.
What?
We got to develop something when you come up with that kind of save, like to refund the money or something.
Point.
Right.
You can get like a...
All right, but go ahead.
Because I was about to say it. I'm not gonna lie.
You can like if you were Jordan, you were in the air, like, right here over the basket.
But Steph Curry's a great guy. I mean, far from Jordan-like. And he won a championship, so I don't think you have to be a bad guy. I mean, I don't think you have to be a astronomically hard person. But
Yeah.
I think some situations call for it.
See, I think you can be tough. Like, if you're okay. Like, I think you can be a tough. Like, you can be tough in practice. You can drive home the point the coach is trying to make, and that's cool in practice or in the games. But it just seemed like with Jordan, it just permeated outside the court too.
Yeah.
Like he didn't turn it off.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, we gotta look at. There is a difference between Steph Curry and Jordan. Jordan is literally the greatest player ever to play the game, and maybe he needed that type of drive. He needed that energy to drive him to be as great as he was. Because Steph's not even close. LeBron's not close.
Like I think it does
Hold on.
consider.
I'm sorry, you said not close to what?
Jordan.
In terms of what?
Not trying to start anything,
Greatness?
but
No,
LeBron's not even
yeah.
close.
In terms of just talent?
At all.
Wow, you're trying to swallow that. He's unable to swallow that.
In terms of anything.
You're trying to swallow. You're trying to swallow it.
So you're saying, in terms of basketball talent, it's not close. I'm not disputing that Jordan's better. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
That's not what I'm disputing.
Close is relative anyway, so close to you is different than what close to me is, so we can argue close all day.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'll leave it alone.
So you lose the focus.
You don't have to leave it alone. Not trying to start
No, I
anything.
mean, like, not because some people honestly don't think Kobe's close to Jordan.
Kobe's closer, but not close.
I mean, the man patterned his game after Jordan, and to me he was a better 3-point shooter.
Who? Kobe?
Kobe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's close. LeBron, I mean,
The only reason LeBron and Kobe's numbers even look similar to Jordan's is because they've had more years in the league already. So, I mean, they started when they were 18, and when did Jordan start? What, 21, 22?
21, yeah.
Yeah, so, and not only that, Jordan took off 2 years, took off another 3 years, or whatever it was between the Bulls and the Wizards. I mean, and his numbers still surpass both of them for the most part. I mean, not every category, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard having these.
Yes, may he rest in peace.
On.
Rest in peace, Kobe. Thank you for pointing that out, Mania. Rest in peace.
Yeah. I mean, you can have these discussions because we might have to have a different episode.
We might have to. That might have to be a segment.
Yeah.
So the question that you had to go back to the original question you asked, which is what I've been thinking about, is I'm trying to think of the greats in all the sports and whether the climate of the time they were in created that person to make them great. And I can't think of. I'm having a hard time imagining too many people who were considered that much of a douche, for lack of another word to call him. Like, I see the necessity to some extent, but the closest person I can compare his ego to, and I hate to do it, is Trump, and they both came up in the same time. And so there might be some. I'm just saying, in terms of
there's a difference between the competitive level of Jordan
Happy
and
game.
the insecurities of Trump. It may seem similar, but it's not.
But what I'm picturing, I'm not saying that Trump now, but I'm talking about Trump when they were both young. Trump, when we were kids, Trump was a baller. And he was like, I'm the man, da-da-da-da, and that's sort of where he focused.
Thank you, Mania. Thank you.
All I'm saying is,
Thank you.
there's not too many other athletes I've seen. Like Antonio Brown has that type of ego, but he's nowhere close to that type of great player. You know?
Antonio Brown has some psychological issues right now. I think he's had too many concussions. You can't really use Antonio Brown as an example.
And that's not funny, by the way.
It's not. Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to make it seem funny.
No, I started laughing. I was like, once you said concussions, like, oh man, yeah, okay.
But what I'm saying again though is like we so rarely encounter that level of arrogance that like that when they have a team, it's except for in football, but even football, it's not, the players aren't that good. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Give me another Michael Jordan in another sport. That's what I'm saying.
Muhammad Ali.
What? His people, like, he had friends. He wasn't like that. Like, he was buddies with the people he fought with.
Oh, he was pretty arrogant.
Oh, he,
Are you
but
kidding?
he
Muhammad Ali was pretty arrogant.
Yeah.
But just in terms of they're different people, because I think out of the ring, I think Muhammad Ali, people, like Jam said, people like Muhammad Ali. Like he could relate to people. Like he wasn't afraid to be. Huh?
People love Jordan. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jam.
I'm saying he was friends with people he fought. Like him and like he was still friends with people. They
Jordan is friends with people he played against.
Who?
But not
Bird, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. What? Two of the greats.
Friends
with Bird? Yeah, he's friends with Bird.
Are they friends or are they
and
friendly?
Bird could talk some trash.
Okay. No. Okay. Answer the question. Are they friends or are they just friendly?
But that's what Jam was saying.
No.
He's friends. No, that's not what he's saying.
Friends.
I think they're friends. I'm calling them friends. Tell me different. Show me different. Prove me wrong. I want you to prove me wrong.
Why don't you call Magic Johnson and ask him when's the last time he spoke to Michael Jordan?
I'm sure it was like yesterday.
Go to his theater.
I'm sure it wasn't.
I'm sure it was at least a couple of months ago. Guaranteed.
So within the last 6 months?
No doubt. Because Kobe died recently, sir. And I'm positive that they had some conversations that were very friendly within the last 6 months. I should have bet you or something. All right.
I'm glad you brought it up too, because I was about to bet you.
All right. I think it's time to close the episode out. Really, really good show, guys. Had a lot of fun with you guys. Good conversations. So.
Thank you, Mania.
Yeah. Let's do some shout outs real quick. Jam?
I'm saying Mania, you're going to have to do some of them. I'm not getting everybody.
So what's that? I got my Nia. Let's see. Looks like Mike Winter.
Winner.
Yep. All right. Then let's close the show out then.
Hey, Carla, thanks for checking it out.
All right. All right, well, let's go ahead and close the show out. I'd like to thank all of you guys, our audience. You guys were out there participating. I do appreciate that. I'd like to ask you to please share if you want us to keep going. We need your support. So now the next show, we have plans to change the name now that Liz officially permanent co-host. So we'll unveil the new name Sunday, 4 p.m. We want you guys there. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe at the NEJ Show, www.nej.show. And we'll see you on Sunday. Have a good night, guys. See you, Mania.